Okay.
So, I think you're my favorite guest. Every time you come, I learn a lot. I just want to, maybe let's just clarify this education thing. I know the message you're trying to put across, but I feel that there's such a generalization. Some people will be confused and think that university education is a no-no. I'm trying to understand that you mean the state of our tertiary education right now, because of the way it is, we need to look for other alternatives to educate ourselves. That's what you're saying.
Now, what I'm saying is this.
Because, let me just add this, because this AI you're talking about, those people that have created this, they went to university.
Now, so listen, please listen. I have 2 master's degrees, I have 2 PhD, not all. I went to school, so I have 2 PhD. So I'm not saying that you should not go to school. I'm not saying that you don't need education. But when you are going to school, be going to school because you really need it. Be going to school because it is important to help you to become who you are supposed to be. Many people already discover what they are supposed to do. I'm supposed to be a fashion designer, but because of this programming, you want to first go and do medicine. Yes, then you now come back to that. You want to first do architecture first. That is the deception I'm talking about. And then when you are going to school, don't go to school based on the programming of the courses you think will help you to be marketable. Go to school to study the courses that will help you to solve the problem of the world you are living in. Many of us are mirroring our parents' dreams and desires. That's why the popular courses are, now, do you know that in our own days, if you have told your mom you want to be an actor, an actress, they will have said you are a prostitute, they will have said you are doing this, you want to be a footballer, they will say, hey, God, who did this to me? But now, we are in the same case now. If a child comes to you now and says, Mommy, I want to be a drone pilot, will you agree? If your child comes to you today now and says, I want to go into robotics, will you agree? I want to be a graphic artist, will you agree? Because in your consciousness, being a graphic artist is not a career. Graphic artist, they draw picture. That is the program that we have all been programmed in. The colonial masters messed us up, and we are messing up the next generation. Because think of it. Every time you ask a child, what do you want to become? Majority of them tell you they want to become something that requires them to go and get a job from somebody to get a salary. That's the programming I'm talking about. We have been programmed to go to school. The education sector, as it is today, was not set up to help you. It was set up to create workers for the marketplace for capitalists. So it's for us to now know that, look, I'm not going to be a pawn in that. I'm going to go to school to learn to earn, to learn to develop my skill so that I can be skillful to be able to offer value so that money will flow.
Okay. Toby wanted to throw in something.
Yes.
Are you going to education, or you want to? You're doing.
He has hinged on it because sometimes I feel like this programming that you speak about has been so in depth in our hearts, and it's difficult to step away from. So for our viewers today, step by step, how do you advise that we can move away from this programming that generations have passed down to us, understanding that it's important to go to school?
It takes a lot. So I'm not going to tell you it's easy. I'm still going through it in different areas of my life. I still have to sit down with my wife and children.
PhD too.
I still have to sit down with my family. I still have to sit down with my family and say, look, this is not going to work. We're not going to do this. Why are we doing this? I still do that till date. And it's just the reality. So number one, if things are ideal, and we don't live in an ideal world, if things are ideal, when children are born into a family, they are supposed to be born into a functional family where the parents themselves have understood themselves and they understand parenting. Unfortunately, children are giving birth to children.
Yes.
So dysfunctional people are marrying each other, raising children in dysfunctional environments where it's a generation of dysfunctional people.
Exactly.
The parents themselves don't even know better. They are confused. They don't understand. So if it was an ideal situation, we would have known that this child that is being given to me, I have been given the custody. It's not my child. I've been given the custody of this child for 18 years. And the person that gave me this child has a template for this child before the child was sent to me. So I'm supposed to go back to the creator, say, this child you gave to me, what is the template? What's the purpose for this child? And then I'm supposed to be sensitive and observant to identify the traits in this child, because you can't raise every child the same way. So that I can now channel that child in that direction and help that child to discover himself or herself. So that by the time the child is 18, the person is a full-blown adult that can move on his or her own. But because we don't have that system, and many families are dysfunctional, we are still raising people at 25, at 30, 28. People are still in their parents' house asking for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stay in one room without paying, and they say it's my parents. And we don't know that when you look at the Western world, by 18, they send you out. You are done. Because anything, you start paying anything after 18. It's in the report
16
card.
actually.
No.
You have only 18 years.
16.
Yeah.
16.
So, but because we don't have that, at 23, we are still following them to interview. At 25, we are still trying to, and that is why we are raising children. Look at marriages today. A lot of men are children. A lot of women are children. It's because they have been mummified all their life. They have not been allowed to face reality of life. So it's a continuous cycle.
Yes.
Yeah. So
How do we step away from that?
So it's for all of us that are listening to me right now to begin to realize that, number one, we can do things differently.
Yeah.
Go back, identify the things you are doing wrong, identify the areas of deficiency, and come together as a family to make a commitment to say this and this and these are things that will begin to change. E.g., food. In my family now, for many years, 3 square meal has never been part of. My son, even my 10-year plus, the last baby of the house, cannot come and say that, where's my lunch? He can't say that. From 6 years old, he can't say that. He only comes, I'm hungry. When you are hungry, you come for food, we give you food. If you are not hungry, no food. Sometimes he will not eat till 2. You will say, I breakfast. I say, no, I'm okay, I'm not hungry.
Oh.
I'm like, wow. It works. So it's a process you have to go on little by little.
totally
little by little.
My
You
children
start
are hungry
program-
5 times a day.
No, if they are hungry 5 times a day, you give them food 5 times a day. Because you don't raise them with poverty mentality. But let them understand that food is when I'm hungry. Not that I must eat because there is a timetable that somebody has set for me.
Yeah.
Is that so? We are not talking of poverty mentality here. Do you understand? We are talking of helping them to understand that when it's time for them to be able, because there are businesses you will do where you will be on your feet for 10 hours. It's not food you are thinking of. If you don't raise them like that, they won't be able to survive in that atmosphere.
Yeah.
Where they will need to now be disciplined.
I have someone that you
where
say,
somebody
I'm
can now
busy.
use food to discipline them. Somebody can use food to do all kinds of things to them because they are now hungry.
Yeah.
So those are the things that, so we need to learn what are the things we have done wrong. And then number 2, we need to begin to make changes where necessary. And I say marriage is one of the most blessed experience and one of the most cost experience of life. If you marry the wrong person, it can be all this we are saying now. If your partner does not support, you can be in trouble. I've just dealt with a case this week of a man crying. Say, what do I do? These children are still children. I'm telling them that by 9 they should be at home. They are telling me that, what do you mean by 9? That's when the party will start. And that they will be back by 11, 12. And my wife said, leave them alone. So that's why the problem. I said, my brother, I can't help you. As long as your wife and you are not on the same page, it's not children issue we should be talking. We should be discussing value system between 2 of you.
It's marriage that you need to fix.
And they are girls. So girls plus girl, 3 against 1. You are going to lose the battle. So just receive grace. So those are the things we need to begin to do. Identify the problems, identify the gaps, and then make a commitment to begin to do it. And when you fail, don't be discouraged. Put a support system around you to help you to say, okay, we said we are going to do, why are we not doing this? It's the same thing with savings. It's the same thing with a lot of other aspects of our lives. So what I will say to people is reduce expenditure. That's what I've dealt with now, which is, let's look at the hard facts. Housing, education, there are many things you
reduce it there too.
Then the next thing to do is now to increase your income. So you now to increase your income. So you now see now, that one is not easy to do if you don't have value, if you don't have skill, if you don't have knowledge.
So sometimes you might first have to find the gap.
Yes. As I'm sitting here right now, as far back as 2001, I already had a folder. And I renewed that folder maybe every 2 years as I was growing up on things to reduce. So if for any reason I have need to reduce anything now, I don't need, I'll just go, yeah, this one goes, because I know every money I spend every month in the family, I know that, okay, what am I doing with cable? Well, cable gone. You don't need to be paying any money for any cable station or subscription every month when I can use the internet to still do the same thing. Do you understand? Because you are paying for my internet data, you are paying for cable. The things you are watching on cable, you can now watch. So all those things you notice. Okay, we put on diesel generator from this one. Okay, no more 8 hours, now 6 hours. You have those. There was a point in my life in our family we did not. We buy bottled water. For 2 years we didn't do that. At a point years ago. Why? Because I said, yeah, no more. But because we knew how much was coming to the soul. Everybody should sit down and face reality. Now, think about it. If all of you came here now with low cuts and parting, will it kill you? You will still look beautiful.
Then.
But all
No, don't mind, it's them, not me.
Yeah, no, of course. But all these air you people are buying, now you are telling me you will still going to buy shoe. If you, I love shoes,
they're looking
It's
at-
what is putting people in trouble. You have 2 legs, you want to buy shoes.
This week is like 500,000.
Does not spend on hair.
She spends on shoe.
She spends on shoes
So,
and on clothes and
you love
travel.
shoe. If you love shoe, design shoe, manufacture shoe,
I
sell
like
shoe.
that. Yeah.
Then begin to make money for so that the shoe you are wearing is from the profit of the profit, the grandchild of the money. You can now wear any shoe you want to wear. Not that they add in money. You go and use to wear shoe buy shoe that all of you sitting out here now, nobody has ever seen
Sir,
your shoe.
we have
Since you have been on this board, nobody
No, they can
except
see
the day that you people mention where guys, they will now show it. So you are just fooling yourself.
We have just
with all
about
this shoe.
3 more
Please look
minutes,
at your shoe.
and we need to make money.
People
sir.
are busy
So
with their
how do
life.
we
They are
make
talking
money?
shit.
Yes, yes, we need to make money because some people, no, there is no reduction. They have reduced everything that can be reduced.
So
The only goal is I need more. So how can they make more money in this economy?
money only flows in exchange for value. So number one, whatever you are doing right now, begin to think of how you can make more money from what you are already doing. You see, in business, we have what we call forward integration and backward integration. There are many things that you are doing right now that there are still many more money making inside it. So you sit down and observe your product and your service. So, okay, this product, is there another way to make money? So, e.g., you have a product, the customer comes and buys the product once. The customer will not need to come again. So, for instance, if you are selling food now, they can come every day. They can come twice a day. But if you are selling a shoe, if the customer has bought shoe once, they will most likely not come back again.
Actually, not that brand.
So that means that that's one customer. What do I need to do to get more money from that customer? So I have to now think of something else to do, because the 2 ways to grow on that side is number one, begin to come up with new products for your existing customers. So the customers you already have one now, okay, they have bought, so what else can I give to them? Because they're already your customer. So what else? So the person bought a car from you. Can you say, okay, we now do car wash, we now do service, we now sell tires. So you come up with other products that you can give to the existing customer. Then the product you already have now, you now need to take existing product to new customers that don't know you at all. So, and social media will help you do that a lot. So instead of going online just to be able to be looking at who is breaking which person's heart, who dumped who, you go online to begin to look at the portals of people that desire what you have and begin to trade and say, I have this, I'm doing sales, I'm doing discount, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. There's referral. If you bring this person, you will get this. So those are the things you need to begin to do. And once you begin to explore these two, you'll be amazed. Those 2 things I've said to you has helped people to be billionaires over and over again. Existing products to new customers and new product to existing customers. Those are 2 master keys for making unending wealth anywhere in the world.
Wow. Wow.
As usual. Wow.
We have just 30 seconds left on the show. Please, thank you so much, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for giving us a lot to chew on on this Wednesday. I am sure everybody in the studio is looking at you like, what just happened? All of us have
As usual.
Yeah.
Right now.
So we're going to go and listen again. Please do the same. And please reduce your expenses, increase. I actually did a video about this. It looked like you had told me, but we know I've been collecting it from the source. Thank you so much for coming again. Thank you, ladies, for an amazing show. Guys, go on social media, watch again and again, and till we see tomorrow. Remain blessed. Bye.